Personal knowledge management is an amazing idea. There's limitless potential when you're able to easily, quickly, and reliably generate, store, and recall all of your information, your insights, basically digitizing your whole brain. And there's a place for everything and a thing for every place. There's nothing to not love about that, right? Right? Here's the thing. Whenever you use any traditional P.K.M system, you always end up having to make a whole bunch of trivial decisions about things that you really shouldn't need to be spending your time on. What should this thing be titled? Where does this thing need to live? And then later, when you know there is this perfect thing that would be great if you only remembered what you called it or where you put it in your otherwise perfectly manicured jungle of files and folders, it's at that point that you realize you're not managing knowledge. You're performing maintenance. You are not the conductor of a world-class symphony performing your magnum opus. You are the janitor who cleans up afterwards. But what if you could get the sales pitch without the overhead? What if those janitorial duties, they took care of themselves? What if everything kind of just happened as a natural consequence of you thinking and acting day by day? Why am I asking a series of hypothetical questions? I'm not, because the Perpetual Knowledge Machine offers the promise. It delivers on the promise of P.K.M. without all the busy work. Hi. So this is not just a sales pitch. This is also a demonstration. I've been recording a voice note the whole time. Let me end this video here. And I will now send this voice note. Okay. Now let's look at the screen here. So it's split in two. On the left side is the Today page. And inside the Perpetual Knowledge Machine, you can set where you want all of your notepads are sent. What are notepads? That's what's created by the Perpetual Knowledge Machine. It is a bucket of highlights from whatever you sent to it. And the default location is a place called the Note box, but you can select them on several different locations, the Today page being one of them. As you can see, there's a couple notepads here. This is actually the same notepad. It's on my Today page. This is where it lives, but it's also being referenced in this project here. Why in this project? It doesn't go to all projects, only the projects that it's directly related to. I'll get to that in a bit. Let's open this up here first. So the notepad appeared here. Great. Before I move on to the next thing, I want to mention that this works no matter what the input is or where the input is coming from. So it could be voice, it could be text. It could be on your desktop, it could be from your mobile phone. Doesn't matter. Same process, same output happens. So not only do notepads get sent to the proper buckets of work, projects for instance, you can also just jump straight to the highlights. These are all from the note, the voice note that I just recorded just now. And these highlights, you can do whatever you want in whatever context you want. Maybe I really like this inquiry here. So I will drag that into this project. And I can make some corrections. Instead of benefits, let's call it features for some reason. I think that's more appropriate. The AI got it wrong, we'll say. I can take some notes inside this highlight too. Why not? Now, let's dive into why these all appeared for Patient Otter, but it does not appear for any other projects. I never used the word patient or otter. How did the AI know? The AI knew because I filled out the work description. Because I like to use these weird project names. I will usually, in practice, I will mention Patient Otter at some point because I don't want to leave anything to chance. But if you ever forget to mention the project name, or you're passing on a message from someone else who doesn't know what the project name is, but it hits all of the high points from the work description, the AI knows to include that stuff with your project without you having to think about what to call it, where to put it, anything. Okay, I got to wrap up here because I have another event that I'm going to be emceeing very soon about the Tana Copilot. But before I go, I want to mention that everything that I showed right here so far and everything that I'm about to show when I get to the edited portion of the video, this is the basic version. This is the free product. The paid version, the professional version, is already being built. And what exists right now already is clearly superior to this. And what will eventually be released is going to blow that out of the water. I say that to let you know that a pre-sale is going on, so you will get the Perpetual Knowledge Machine cheaper than anyone else will ever get it in the future if you buy it now. And also, you get access to an event that I'll be hosting, not this coming Friday, but next Friday. And it will only be open to people who buy the pre-sale. That's it. I gotta go. Another version of me will appear now. And I'm back. I've already demonstrated a lot of benefits for the Perpetual Knowledge Machine. Here's a couple more. First, it's totally adaptable. It can fit within or around any system that you already have or will have in the future. It plays nice with other things. You decide what becomes part of that system and what doesn't. You decide how much you do or do not want to use the Perpetual Knowledge Machine. It does not infringe on your current workflows. It doesn't force you to adjust your entire system to fit it. It adjusts to your system. Let me show you how. Let's say you've got a pancake themed restaurant. Maybe then you don't think of work in projects. You think of it in terms of pancakes. Let's start by converting this to a super tag. All right. And then each of these are pancakes. These are my buckets of work. So I'll tag all of those as pancakes. Okay. Now this is my menu and we've got things set up. We'll call it my current system. The way that I hook this into the Perpetual Knowledge Machine is I can just configure this pancake tag, which we're saying is my bucket of work. This is my version of project, operation, campaign, whatever you want to call them. And we're going to extend what's called the work source tag right here. Now, anything tagged pancake is associated with the Perpetual Knowledge Machine. You see that work description there. We're not going to bother with this for this example. That's the first type of thing that you can choose what to bring in and what not to bring into the Perpetual Knowledge Machine. The next is the source for notes. So this is a source for work. What about sources for notes or what you can generate notepads from? Well, it comes by default with an email tag, but that's just really to demonstrate how it works. Right here, you see this button comes with that tag, for instance, because it's extended from the note source tag. But let's say I don't want that. I want a review tag. So we will convert this to a super tag. Now, I want to extend, like I said, the note source tag. There we go. So now I have a nasty review here from someone who did not appreciate the quantum flapjack. Let's tag that as a review. Now that has this notepad command button here. Now, if I decide at some point I don't want this to be a note source anymore, I just stop extending that tag. But I do want that, so we'll bring it back in. Now, this is referring to the quantum flapjack. Okay, so let's keep that open in a separate panel here. Notice there's nothing here, except it's coming with related highlights and related notepads. Now, if I remove the extension, those are no longer there. So let's bring that back so I can do the demo real quick. All right, so I want to generate a notepad from this review. So I click that, it's generated, it has moved, and it's magically appearing inside this project now. Oh, not project, pancake. It's inside the pancake. Sometimes you need to refresh, boom. Again, you can do whatever you want with these highlights. Let's zoom in to this notepad, actually. I want to take a closer look. So there's highlights, and these happen automatically. You can also generate a sentiment analysis by clicking on the little drama mask. Is that what it's called? Whatever. So click that, and you could use this for your own notes. Perhaps you track how you're feeling in your notes to yourself every day. You could also use it to track how hot or cold people are on your pancakes, for instance. This guy gave a 0. His sentiment score is 0. That's from 0 to 10. So 0 is extremely negative. He hates it. And you could then use this information to track over time how well people are liking your flapjacks, for instance. There's one last thing that I want to cover. This, just like any other product that I work on, this is a living product. What I mean when I call something a living product is the product is not defined by the artifact that I give to you. It's not defined by the particular way that I deliver a set of features or something. The product is defined by the problem that it solves, which leaves an infinite space for me to make improvements. Even assuming technology doesn't advance at all, it gives me space to make further and further improvements. But guess what? Technology is really just growing by leaps and bounds, week by week by week. And I'm leveraging another piece of software called Tana that itself is growing, expanding, changing week by week and month by month. So I will be staying on top of things. And whenever there's some new powerful feature, if it makes sense, I will be applying it to each and every one of my products. These products adapt and adjust over time, hence living. Okay, I think that's it. That's everything. Remember, there's the pre-sale. Things will get more expensive, trust me. So I recommend buying it now. Things are going to be amazing. And that also gets you access to the exclusive events. There's going to be at least 2 of them in total for purchasing the pre-sale. Maybe there will be more, I don't know. If you're not familiar with Tana, try it out. I will have that link somewhere below for sure. Otherwise, yeah, definitely try out the free version of the Perpetual Knowledge Machine. Get it. Put it through its paces. See how well it fits with your system. Like I said, one of the great things about this is if you install it and you only want to use it just for like one particular use case, it's the opposite of invasive. So there's really no risk. Bye.